That's why the Storm Prediction Center has issued this high risk outlined in pink all the way on the top end of the scale. That's the highest risk they can issue in weather right now. Most of that is headed to the north and east. This tornado warning has been extended until 7:15 now for Glasscock and Howard counties. Products, so you can see exactly what is going on inside of that storm and whether or not there is any rotation. And in fact, there is a little bit of rotation here with this storm. We've got those bright greens meeting up with those reds right there in the center. So we could be looking at another tornadic cell developing just off to the east of Highway 349. We do have a tornado warning lasting until 7:15. So another 15 minutes or so on that one before that begins to dissipate, because this is a very powerful line of storms. Again, producing a couple of tornadoes. This is number 4 for the evening. We've already seen, though, that indicates even larger hail, about 3 inches in size. So that's something to look out for. And this is what we look for when we look for tornadoes here on the velocity products. This red color indicates motion away from the dome. This green indicates motion towards the radar dome. So we've got a lot of strong rotation here. Right there is where we're looking at possibly a small tornado to minutes. We're going to see for probably about 30 minutes or so these storms continuing to track to the north and east. And for 30 minutes or so, we've got this tornado warning still in effect. And welcome back. Here's another look at that tornado warning for Midland County lasting until 10:45 p.m. Now, inside of that is a severe thunderstorm as well. You can kind of see a little bit of a notch there right along the highway line of thunderstorms. This tornado warning lasting until 11:30. So we've got another 35 or so minutes on that before it expires completely. But it is producing a tornado signature showing off. Wow, that is quite a tornado signature. There's a lot of rotation right around here, generally indicating where we're looking. Now, it's making its way into the center of Midland, again coming with a very large hail core and indicating some very strong wind speeds. Now, the hail core right now is upwards of 1.5 inches. Carlsbad dropping down by 22 degrees over this time yesterday. Hobbs dropping off by 25. Seminole down 26. Now, we have yet to feel the effects, updating in real time here in Odessa, Midland. Again, we did get some of that rain earlier, so that rainwater is going to be evaporating through the rest of this evening, producing a little bit of cloud cover for tomorrow morning and some fairly muggy conditions. Now, our temperatures are going to feel very fall-like, but because of that humidity, it's really going to diminish the crispness, if you will, of the air out there, especially in the morning time. Yeah, well, very good. It was pretty warm out there, and you're right, pretty windy. Breezy and windy combined, I guess, is brindy. Pretty brindy outside next week, including more rain chances next Thursday. So looks like the warm air is going to be here to stay, which is good news if you don't like this cold weather.
Yeah, something for everyone there. Good news, some more rain, and tomorrow the chill continues a little bit. Yeah,
hopefully the chill, doesn't get anybody sick, and hopefully everybody can enjoy the weekend.
I like the soup idea. That's good.
Always a big fan. Chicken noodle, my favorite.
There you go. Thank you, Chase.
Minimum, but notice this shape here. It kind of looks like a U, almost like a C shape. Now, the tighter that bend is, the stronger the winds are inside of this storm. Just think about it like a line of thunderstorms getting pushed by the winds, and it starts to bow out. And that's exactly what we call that, a bow echo. I don't know. For me, it's fascinating, but not as fascinating as the weather. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm a weatherman. I'm not a money man. That's true. That's all right. I'll make money one of these days, but I'm making temperatures right now 102. That's the high for today. Yikes, look out. Showing up on the satellite and radar, this very bright, almost highlighter green showing up right around Hobbs. Not actually rain out there, but those deeper greens still tracking down to the south. Some of these orangish yellow colors actually do indicate a little bit. Hey. This is the Star-Spangled Salute, and it is just a great evening. You know what, if we could just take the fireworks full, I'll go ahead and give you about 30 seconds of that footage here. Let me step off so you can see these fireworks. They are just so beautiful right now, and the timing is perfect. We've got very clear skies overhead, so you can see each little flare popping off of each one of these fireworks. This is... Well, good evening, everybody. We do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings out there, some of which are coming pretty close to home, especially if you're in Crane. This storm, very, very powerful and very large, producing some exceptionally large hail right now. This severe thunderstorm warning expiring at 7 p.m. this evening. So it'll be a little while before that moves out of the way. And I've got to say, I expect it to be reissued or extended because it is still showing a little bit of rotation. Not enough to give us any tornado chances, but it still indicates that this hail core that it's producing is going to be sticking around for a little while. Thankfully, any hail is south of Crane and north of McCamey. So if you're in those locations, you're in the clear, you've got a little while to move your vehicle to a sturdy structure, and for you yourself to get away from windows into a sturdy structure yourself. Now we've also got a severe thunderstorm near Monahans, this one producing a pretty significant amount of hail to the north and west of Monahans. That is going to continue tracking to the north. Looks like Pyote got a pretty good piece of that hail core earlier in the evening. Now here's a look at Odessa's storm. This one tracking right overhead in Odessa right now. This one also coming with a fair amount of disorganized rotation, not indicating the chance for any severe tornadoes or anything like that, but still showing that we could be dealing with that hail core persisting for a good little while longer. Now that hail core now dropping down to 0.7 inches in this grayish spot here, in this bluish spot, but we are dealing with a pretty significant chance for that to re-intensify and a pretty significant chance for that to cause some damage. Now let me go ahead and zoom in on this storm so that we can get a detailed look of what it's doing to West Odessa right now and where it's affecting the most. You can see it's moving through University Boulevard, 42nd Street, 30th Street as it takes that northerly hook. Now that's going to continue to persist on for at least a little while longer and continue its journey off generally to the due north. You can see that hail core tracking along that line. Doesn't look like the biggest hail is going to make its way into the center of Odessa, but we are still dealing with a pretty good portion of that hail staying off to the west, on West Odessa, primarily on University Boulevard. So this storm is going to be persisting for a little while longer. It's also coming with some pretty significant lightning along with that as well, as you can see here. So make sure to head indoors so that you can avoid that lightning, which does pose a threat by itself, and also try and avoid this hail as best you can. Make sure to park your car under a structure and avoid windows, as this hail is very large inside of that core. These pinkish colors usually indicating hail of about 1.5 inches or larger. So again, watch out. This is a very powerful storm. It's rotating a little bit, not enough to give us any tornado signatures, but still indicating the presence of enough energy to keep that storm in play for a little while longer. Again, that is tracking to the north. We've got some greens and some grays meeting up, indicating some very weak rotation. But as far as that storm cell goes, still tracking to the north, producing a lot of lightning, and it is going to be in play for a little while longer. Keep it here to Big 2 News, and we'll keep you posted on these severe thunderstorms. We do have more possibilities for more thunderstorms as we continue into the evening. That should be dying down by about 10 p.m. tonight. So keep it here, and I'll give you the updates, but for now, we'll return you back to your regularly scheduled programming.
And now, your Big 2 local weather authority forecast. We warn you first with Chief Meteorologist Chase Menendez.
Well, good evening, everybody. We've got some nice blue skies overhead, a lot of sunshine coming through in the basin here for today. A couple of clouds beginning to pop up, but they are very small clouds, and I really don't expect any rain to be coming for the rest of this evening. But we do have a lot of changes on the way. First of all, this sky is going to get filled in pretty significantly as we head to the middle of the week. A lot of cloud cover coming our way, as well a lot of rain chances. So this may be one of the last sunny days that we have here in West Texas for at least a little while. Wind speeds are actually elevated over normal, but Sky Tracker is staying pretty steady, at least for now. Thanks to the Sky Tracker network, though, we've got a good look outside at those current conditions, and again, things will be changing pretty soon. And switching over here to the almanac, we can see that our high temperatures came in well above average again for today. 95 degrees the high today, 89 the normal for this time of year. Notice also that normal temperature backing off a little bit for both our highs now in the 80s and our lows in the mid-60s. Now we came in above average today, but again, we do have a lot of changes on the way. A strong cold front going to be moving through West Texas for tomorrow evening. Now that'll still give us a pretty good amount of time to warm up, so high temperatures tomorrow actually going to look fairly similar to what we have out there right now. It's just going to be coming earlier in the day. Part of the reason for that is we're actually starting out the day a little warmer than what we had earlier this morning. 72 degrees by tomorrow morning for Midland, Odessa, 71 for Wink, and the upper 60s across parts of southeast New Mexico and the northern basin. As we get into the afternoon time, though, notice how quickly we warm up. 96 for Midland, Odessa by just 2 p.m. in the afternoon. A couple of triple digits showing up there in the northern Trans-Pecos as well. But after that mark, that's when our next cold front comes through, and boy, is it a cold cold one. We're going to see our temperatures really backing off down into the 50s by just midnight, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. For places like Hobbs, Seminole at 56 degrees, Odessa, Midland, Wink a little bit warmer in the low and mid 60s, but look, not really much difference in terms of space, but over 10 degrees difference in terms of temperature. So again, this is a strong cold front that's going to be coming through and again, really dropping our temperatures down. So you may need to run the AC in the afternoon time because we are still going to be warming up into the mid 90s, but once we get into the evening hours, temperatures backing off into the 70s as early as 8 p.m. You may actually need to run the heater for the overnight hours, but in addition, make sure to stay dry as best you can. Be careful while you're driving around, especially on your way home from work, because we've got a good chance for some thunderstorms to come with that cold front. Right now, though, skies very, very clear, not a whole lot of rain at all, but as we get to the morning hours, notice some moisture rushing in from the south, this cloud cover continuing to push. Now, that's going to give us enough moisture when it interacts with that cold front to give us some strong thunderstorm chances. First, starting out by about 4 p.m. in southeast New Mexico, we'll see that wave of energy transition down to the southeast and kick up some very strong storms. Thankfully, though, we're not looking at a whole lot of severe weather potential, but you can see by the coloration here with this line of storms that we could be expecting some small hail, maybe some strong wind gusts, but nothing to qualify as severe weather, at least not yet, according to the Storm Prediction Center. For tomorrow, no severe weather risk has been issued for the entire state of Texas. So good news there. It looks like we are dodging that severe weather for tomorrow, but we're not dodging the cool temperatures. We'll start off the day in the 70s, warm up to the 90s by the early hours of the day in the early part of the afternoon, and then after that, that cold front will come through and it'll kick up some real good rain chances as well as some very cold temperatures. Could be expecting about an inch of rain in some locations. Odessa, Midland likely to reach about a half of an inch when all is said and done by the end of Wednesday. A lot of rain chances to talk about there, in addition to that temperature change. 96 tomorrow, the high, but we drop down to 47 for Wednesday morning. Also coming with a 70% chance for thunderstorms Tuesday, 60% chance for more showers on Wednesday, and another 30% chance for even more showers on Thursday. So get ready for the rain, but also get ready for the cold.
Wow. Hello, Wednesday.
That is right. Goodness.
Cold, rainy.
We're all looking forward to that one after this hot summer, I know that.
You know, I think it'll be a pretty good amount of relief, but also, I don't know, the pendulum swings. It may be a little bit too cold, I think, for me at least.
I know. Coffee all day, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah, well,
you
blankets,
know,
jackets.
I like that.
Kind of days.
A little hot cocoa.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chase.
Thanks.
Well, new travel.
We're taking you all across Texas in search of the best vacation destinations. Good evening. I'm Chase Menendez.
And I'm Gian Kim. Tonight we trek way out west to Terlingua Ghost Town.
You know, it's one of my favorite places. Some call it the last best place. Take a look.
Well, doggy.
Deep in the heart of Texas, a ghost town survives. And Terlingua, Texas, found about 250 miles from Midland, has more than enough heart for the rest of the state.
What can I say about Terlingua? Terlingua is not the belly of Texas, but more so the bottom heart. That's what I can say about Terlingua.
And while it may look empty to an outsider, there's still plenty to see and do.
The most fun I've had here is just hiking around Big Bend and just exploring nature and seeing everything that's out here, seeing all the wildlife and all the different kind of plants and stuff that's out here. It's pretty cool.
Not only is there a lot of great hiking in Big Bend, there's obviously a plethora of great people out here just living, enjoying, living up the desert nightlife, having amazing margaritas, enjoying each other's company. What's not to love?
And while it's not hard to find a good time in Terlingua, there's a lot of history to be found. Bill Ivey, owner of the Terlingua Ghost Town for the last 30 years, has kept that history alive.
Well, quite a few years back, almost 30 years ago, I was fortunate enough to buy a piece of property here, and it just happened to be the Terlingua Ghost Town. And since then, almost every day of my life, we've spent trying to resurrect, to restore, and to preserve what I was crazy enough to buy back then.
For example, the Perry Mansion has been fully restored. Named after the original town's owner, surveyor, and mercury mine owner Howard Perry, the updated mansion still overlooks the town just as it did in the 30s and 40s. A lot has changed since then, but Terlingua remains.
And it takes heart to be up out here, because this is not for the faint of heart, people. No, you can't be green around the gills, because the heat will make you crawl under a rock like a scorpion, you dig?
For anyone with an appetite for adventure or for some interesting food.
Probably the chicken fried antelope. I think really and true that's still one of my favorites.
Terlingua is a one-of-a-kind escape.
As a getaway or as an experience? I mean, that's the thing. We are truly the last frontier, and you can still get that feeling of remoteness, of individualism, of creativity, and like I say, you can be who you want to be when you come out here, and as long as you don't hurt anybody. And it is. Everybody wants to be a part of the last best place. And we've been the last best place for a long time, but people are just now figuring that out.
Now, when we ventured to Terlingua, we learned it's a lot more than just a small West Texas town.